I thought that it was a matter of real concern that planted stories intended to serve a national purpose abroad came home and were circulated here and believed here, because this would mean that the CIA could manipulate the news in the United States by channeling it through some foreign country.
Do you have any people being paid by the CIA who are contributing to a major circulation American journal?
We do have people who submit pieces to two American journals.
Do you have any people paid by the CIA who are working for television networks?
This, I think, gets into the kind of getting into the details, Mr. Chairman, that I'd like to get into in executive session.
Do you have any people being paid by the CIA who are contributing to the national news services, AP and UPI?
Well, again, I think we're getting into the kind of detail, Mr. Chairman, that I'd prefer to handle in executive session.
At CBS, we had been contacted by the CIA. As a matter of fact, by the time I became the head of the whole news and public affairs operation in 1954, ships had been established, and I was told about them and asked if I'd carry on with them. I think it was entirely in order for our correspondents at that time to make use of CIA agent chiefs of station and other members of the executive staff of CIA as sources of information which were useful in their assessments of world conditions.
Would you say that continues today?
Well, yeah, I would think probably for a reporter it would continue today, but because of all of the revelations of the period of the 1970s, it seems to me that a reporter's got to be much more circumspect in doing it now, or he runs the risk of at least being looked at with considerable disfavor by the public. I think you've got to be much more careful about it.
We have quite a lot of detailed information, and we will evaluate it, and we will include any evidence of wrongdoing or any evidence of impropriety in our final report and make recommendations.
The information contained within this video is not for everyone. If you're content with the way the world is and you're happy, then don't watch this video. But for those of you who see that there's something that's just not right and question what you see and aren't finding the answers, this video is for you. Now, if you're not familiar with my previous videos, I would suggest watching them so you understand the concepts that we're going to be talking about today and how they all tie together. The difference between what we're looking at here and, let's say, the JFK assassination is we are actually right in the middle of the event. We actually know who these individuals are, and we have the opportunity to stop them if we so choose. Unlike the JFK assassination, where we are left picking up the pieces and putting the puzzle back together after the event already took place. My intentions of this video are to avoid that ending and hopefully rewrite the ending in our favor instead of allowing these individuals to manipulate and control our destiny. So it's up to you to understand this concept. It's up to you to spread this information, and then it's also up to you to act on it, if you so choose. The reason why my information is different than others is mine is based on photographic evidence, not hearsay, not some book that somebody wrote, not some rumor spread around, but photographic evidence, hard photographic evidence and video evidence of these individuals taking part in a deception that is being used to manipulate your perception of reality, and it has been going on for centuries, if not longer. You'll see the proof, you'll see who these people are, as I name them by names, not just family members as everybody's rumored in the past. These are individuals that can be held accountable for their actions, since they chose to take a part of this event, and they continue to deceive and keep it hidden from everyone else who they really are. We need everyone to stand behind this work, and even if you don't agree with the findings, at least get the findings in front of the people that can possibly question these individuals or hold them accountable and put them on the spot and make them either fess up or step down. That's the only way that we can get some things accomplished here, instead of being at each other's throats and trying to cause problems for one another. We should allow each other to promote their questions to the person and get the answers from the person.
So this is Zuccotti Park, formerly known as Liberty Square, apparently. It's very appropriate. And this is the scene where, in the early hours of this morning...
David Icke. Pretty well-known individual. Pretty high profile. So therefore, some of you are having a hard time understanding that when I outed him for being Sir Richard Branson, you had a difficult time seeing it. So I'm going to show you some solid evidence, some solid proof. Not only do they look alike, and not only do they match the facial landmarks, but they sound alike, and they have another common bond between them both that I think you'll find pretty interesting.
They would be 6, 7, 8 foot tall, and I would be able to...
Well, Steve regains the lead, but Alex wouldn't let him get away, and in frame 6 they were all square again, and remember, it's the best.
They would be 6, 7, 8 foot tall, and I would be able to...
A guy came to me at the break who'd been on...
they would be 6, 7, 8 foot tall, and...
a much more anxious America, a more fearful America, and certainly walking around New York City with the protests...
Giant corporation is that each of those companies are relatively small in their sector. They're hungry. You know, they've got people running them who've got a stake in the company, and you know, we're
the native.
So in addition to that, he is a Sir Richard Branson, so he's loyal to the Queen. Remember that, because it comes into play later on with someone else. Now, I sat back and I thought, what else could I compile together to convince people that they are the same person? And I remembered that they each have a son. So I went digging, and I found some things that I think you'll find pretty interesting. So I wondered, what does this son do? He plays in a band. How convenient. So then, of course, the next thought in my head was, are they really going to be that stupid and have him signed to Virgin Records? I mean, come on, that would just be obvious. Which, of course, they don't. But what they did do is interesting. Yeah, so they have him doing some commercials for Virgin. But that's not all. Now, remember when Branson did the space adventure, partnered up with Google, and he had the contest to see who would go into outer space? Wow, check this out.
just happy to audition. I've got my handy dandy Martian water container. I think I'd be a great pioneer because I got a lot of drive. I'm really lonely. I don't have any friends here. This is also my eharmony.com video. So please.
I thought it was brilliant. It was very beautifully shot and edited, and it really sort of captured what, you know, the essence of India is sort of about. For me, I've been a few times, mainly to Goa, but I've been to Kerala once before, and it's a beautiful place with amazing culture and brilliant people, and that sort of managed to capture the essence of what it's about.
Now that's Branson's son. Look alike? Yeah, they do, because it's the same kid. So now you got some proof there that David Icke is Richard Branson. Solid proof. Now, let's go in and see some more solid proof about what he's up to.
The Occupy protesters were removed by the police, and this place is crawling with police. And that bloody whistle they bloody have, I don't know, keeps them happy, I suppose.
And make sure you take note of the fact that he's talking on a set. These people that are walking in the background, the extras, they don't have any direction of where they're going, so you can tell that they're on cue to walk in the background and they really have nothing to do. So the fact that they're looking in the cameras, it's obvious that this is a staged set, but that's beside the point. So let's go back to what we're looking at.
Let's see what's going on.
We're going to skip ahead a little bit here and just fast forward through this to the parts that we want to talk about. G20, Canada, actor. And for those of you that are going to, of course, mention the hands and not even look at the evidence here, you'll notice that he's wearing prosthetics on the back of his hands that make his knuckles look larger. You can see it clearly in some of the other shots. Thanks, Dave, for the high-resolution camera footage this time. We haven't been able to observe this in his other videos. But by holding his hand in a certain position, and of course the lens that they use, anything that gets close to the middle of the lens, with that perspective makes the hands look larger. So that combined with the prosthetic that you can see attached to the back, and makes his knuckles look thicker and fingers look out of place. You can effectively create that arthritis, so he says.
Disgusting history has cost the lives of hundreds of millions, if not billions of people, because of the effect the decisions and the gambling and the manipulation and the corruption in this place has had on the lives of some of the poorest people on planet Earth. No wonder people are sick of it.
Ask Dave if he accepts credit cards on his video sales. Hypocrite. Of course he does. So he supports the banking system as much as anybody else. So read through his bullshit. Now you know he's fake. But let's see who he's actually associated with now, since you know that he's Branson. And you're going to see some individuals in this video that are family members, and you'll get a better understanding of who Sir Richard Branson really is.
You were here from what? September 17th?
Yeah, I got here the very first night.
What made you come to start with?
Now listen to how she speaks, the pattern of her voice, and what she's actually saying. And remember an individual that we've already exposed during the 9/11 Pentagon footage. See if you can't figure it out.
Just the system is so screwed up. I don't even know where to start. You know, there's so many issues.
Absolutely.
But I wanted to come here to try to make a change somehow.
At least making a statement that we're not having it, yeah? Or that we know that the system is what it is.
Right, exactly.
That's the start, isn't it?
Yes.
So what's it been like being here through this period?
Things changed so much. In the beginning, we were a small group. I think we were about 60 people the first night.
Right.
And we made it through the first couple nights. We stayed awake all night, so we were up for days because we weren't sure what was going to happen.
The alert sign, it went in the new wedge, the old wedge. I couldn't find it, so I asked somebody with a military uniform.